If you work with Linux or you're planning to become a system administrator, then this video is for you. Today, we're diving into 20 Linux commands that sysadmins use daily in real production environments. From monitoring system performance to managing users and troubleshooting issues, these are the tools of the trade. This command gives the top command in systems administration is used to monitor real-time system performance and resource usage on Unix-like operating systems. It's one of the most essential tools for system administrators to diagnose performance issues, check resource consumption, and manage processes. Key users of the top command, for example, are viewing running processes. It shows all the active processes and their details like process ID, user, CPU, memory usage, runtime, and command. And check memory usage. It provides stats for total used and free memory and swap space. The next one is HTOP, a modern interactive version of top, easier to read, navigate, and filter. The HTOP command is an interactive process viewer for Unix-based systems, similar to top, but more user-friendly, colorful, and powerful. It's widely used by system administrators to monitor system resources, active processes, and perform real-time management tasks. Use top for lightweight, always available monitoring. Use HTOP for better interactivity, visualization, and control. If you're a system admin or power user, HTOP is usually preferred for real-time troubleshooting and visual performance analysis. Next is the list open files and sockets command. The SOF command is extremely important for Linux system administrators. On Linux, everything is a file that includes sockets, pipes, devices, and more. System administrators use this command to identify which process is using a port, see which files a process has open, diagnose why a disk can't be unmounted, find out which files are being accessed in real time. It's incredibly useful for troubleshooting, performance issues, and security monitoring. On System D-based systems such as Ubuntu, Debian, CentOS, Fedora, and so on, the journalctl command is essential for viewing and managing logs on modern Linux systems that use systemd, and yes, system administrators often use it daily, especially when diagnosing issues. Sysadmins use journalctl to view logs for a specific service like Nginx, follow logs in real time, and see logs for a specific time. It's far more powerful and structured than just checking files in /varlog, and is crucial for troubleshooting boot problems, service crashes, or unusual system behavior. Most modern Linux distributions use systemd as their default init system, and the systemctls command is used to start, stop, restart, enable, disable, and check the status of system services. System administrators rely on systemctl daily to start a service, stop a service, restart a service, check service status, enable service at boot, and disable services. It's your main control panel for managing background services, daemons, and it's indispensable in production for server maintenance, troubleshooting, and automation. Need to know how big a folder is? This command shows the total size of any directory. The du command in Linux is short for disk usage, and it's one of the most essential tools for system administrators who need to understand how disk space is being used, especially when dealing with full disks, backups, or cleanup tasks. The du command estimates the disk space used by files and directories. It scans the file system and reports how much space each file or folder consumes, typically in blocks or bytes. If you've ever panicked because your server ran out of disk space, this command is your lifeline. DF stands for Disk File System. It shows you how much disk space is used and available on all mounted file systems. Running it bare gives you stats in boring old kilobytes, but we can make it way more useful. Enter the -H flag, your best friend. This makes show sizes in human-readable format, gigabytes, megabytes, etc. Your Linux server is crawling. Applications are crashing when your boss is yelling, "Why is the server so slow?" Don't panic, the free command is about to save your life. Free shows your system's memory usage, RAM, and swap. Running it plain gives you numbers in kilobytes, but who thinks in KB anymore? Just add H and you will get MB and GB. Ever walked into work after a long weekend and wondered, is my server more well rested than I am? Let me introduce you to the Uptime command, your quick health check for any Linux machine. This tiny command packs a huge punch. With just one word, it tells you: 1. How long the system's been running. 2. How many users are logged in. 3. The CPU load averages. If you see, say, up for 50 days without a reboot, that's either impressive stability or someone's avoiding kernel updates. The who command in Linux is used to display information about users currently logged into the system. It shows username of the logged in user terminal, TTY, they are using date, and time they logged in, and remote host IP if they logged in over the network. Emergency. Your server's CPU is pinned at 100%, applications are crashing, and you need to find the culprit fast. Enter PSAUX, the Linux Process Detective. PSAUX gives you a complete snapshot of every single process running on your system right now. And I mean everything from your web server to that random background task eating all your RAM. You're armed with one of Linux's most powerful forensic tools. Go forth and slay those rogue processes. As a system administrator, it's essential to know which services are listening on specific ports and which remote connections are currently active on your server. For a long time, Netstat was the standard tool for this task. However, it has been largely replaced by SS, Socket Statistics, which is faster, more efficient, and actively maintained. The IP command is the modern replacement for the older ifconfig and root commands. If you're still using ifconfig, it's a good time to switch to IP. IP offers more features, is actively maintained, and comes pre-installed on all modern Linux distributions. Ugh, the website's down, the boss is screaming, and you need to find where the network is failing. Enter traceroute, your digital magnifying glass for network mysteries. Traceroute maps the path your data takes across the internet, showing every hop between you and the destination. It's like GPS for your packets. On Windows, it's Traceit because Microsoft loves being different. Now you're armed to track down network gremlins wherever they hide. Just remember, with great tracing power comes great responsibility. Ever needed a quick way to transfer files, debug a network service, or even create a backdoor for ethical reasons, of course? Meet Netcat NC, the Swiss Army knife of networking tools. One of the most common and powerful uses of this tool for system administrators is checking whether a specific port is open and reachable on a remote machine, extremely useful when troubleshooting services like web servers or database connections. When it comes to backing up or syncing files, async is hard to beat. It's fast, efficient, and optimized for network transfers. Unlike SCP, which copies entire files regardless of changes, async only transfers the modified portions, saving both time and bandwidth. The following command syncs everything inside the /data/directory from your local machine to a remote server over SSH, placing the contents into the /backup/directory on the remote system. Running this backup script every day at 3 a.m. is killing me. If only there was a way to automate it. Oh, wait, crontab exists. Crontab is Linux's built-in task scheduler that runs commands at set times. You need a script to run daily, weekly, every 5 minutes. Crontab handles it. Crontab stands for cron table, a file that contains a list of commands to be run on a schedule by the cron daemon. It's like your personal task scheduler for Linux. This cron job ensures that the backup.sh script runs automatically at 2 a.m. every day, often used for daily backups or maintenance tasks. Ever needed to watch logs live while debugging a crashing server? Meet Tail-F, your real-time log spyglass. Tail normally shows the last 10 lines of a file, but -F follow keeps the file open and streams new lines as they appear, perfect for logs. Ugh, permission denied, the three most terrifying words in Linux, but fear not. Chmod is your permission-fixing superhero. Managing file permissions is crucial on any Linux system, and these two commands help you control who can access what. For example, this command makes sets permissions so that the owner can read, write, and execute, while everyone else can read and execute the WordPress directory. This allows access and navigation, but restricts modifications to the owner only. This other command changes the ownership of the WordPress directory. The user Zach becomes the owner of the directory. The group Zach becomes the group owner. After running this command, the WordPress directory is owned by user Zach and the group Zach. This allows the user Zach to control file permissions and access more easily. This is just an example. There is no group called Zach. Need to find a file but not sure where it's located? The find command is your go-to tool. It's powerful, flexible, and lets you search based on file name, size, type, modification date, and more. So there you have it. 20 Linux commands every system administrator uses on a daily basis. Which one do you use the most? Did we miss your favorite? Drop it in the comments below. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share with your tech team, and don't forget to subscribe for more Linux content every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Blast off.